time to talk some offensive line. I'm Jessica Cootie, joined by Donovan Raiola. Well, first of all, let's start with the conversations you had with Coach Rule and why you felt like you fit in with his staff here and moving forward here at Nebraska.
Oh, it was great. It was great getting to know Coach Rule and Coach Satterfield and all those guys. And I'm excited. I'm fired up to continue what we started last year and just keep building the offensive line unit. And I'm lucky to be a part of the staff. I'm excited.
What was it about his philosophies and what he wants to do here that you believed in too?
Well, he's bringing a brand of toughness to Nebraska, and that's what this program's about. It was built on toughness, and that's what I believe in, and I'm excited about it.
How about the offensive line talent in the state of Nebraska this year? It's pretty impressive, right?
Yes, and that's important. To you want to keep the best players in state, and I'm excited about the group.
Your current players all love you, love playing for you, and then I talked to a few of the ones that are coming in, and they echo kind of the same thing. So how do you go about that and establishing those bonds with these players that they believe in you and they buy into what you want to coach in them?
I think just being real with them and being honest with my assessment of their game and just working to improve their every piece of who they are as a person and their on-field game as well. So
what about the being part of a unit and a family and doing everything together? Because that was another thing that some of these recruits coming in talked about it, that they saw on their recruiting visit, is how tight knit your group was. How important is that? That's
very important, especially on game day when it's those five guys have to play together and give each player a chance and communicate and do all those things. I think it's important. The more you're together, the more you become comfortable doing all those things on game day. So, and it's a cool position because that's one of those where five guys have to work as one. So.
Do you have an ideal world, of preference on recruiting, like how many guys per year, or how do you go about kind of building your room?
I think it's you try to get as many good players as possible, no matter the number. As long as you stay within the scholarship limit and all that. But I think if there's a good player anywhere, you want to add that to the room.
Well, let's talk about the ones that will be joining you coming up next season. And we start with Gunnar Gottula out of Lincoln Southeast, tackle, and his dad is a head coach there. What did you like about him, and what have you seen out of him?
He's going to develop nicely. He's a big kid. He's strong, powerful kid, and I like his toughness and how he plays the game of football. So,
how helpful is it to have a coach's kid?
It's awesome, and the thing I'll say about all these kids is they're all high character kids that are going to come in and work hard for Nebraska and help Nebraska win.
All right, Brock Knutson, 6'7", 220, out of Scottsbluff. That's a familiar name. Garrett Nelson, home of Garrett Nelson as well. He was the guy who played right tackle, left tackle, was also on the defensive line, a little bit versatile. How important is that too when you're looking at guys that have done a little bit of everything?
That's good. You can see his athleticism when he moves and when he gets on the defensive side, how he runs to the ball, and you can see all those things for a taller, longer guy. It's good to see his range and all those things.
And he came on the radar late, kind of recruiting came on late. What did you see out of him late that developed out of him?
He's, like all of them, they're all high character. He's a tough kid. I like the way he plays the game. He plays hard, and he just works to finish his man, and that's big, up front for us.
All right, Sam Sledge out of Creighton Prep, and another familiar name. His dad played here as well, was all Big 8 offensive lineman and was in the Nebraska Hall of Fame. What did you see and like out of Sam?
Sam's, again, another high character kid that's going to come in and work hard to improve every day. He plays hard every snap. He played defensive line as well, and that just pops out on film. You can just see him hustling to the ball, finishing every play, and he brings a toughness, and that's what we look for.
I know his dad, Bob, had talked about how much he loves your style and your teaching philosophy too. Have you had conversations with him? Do you like chatting with him too?
Yeah, it's great. He's awesome, and I'm really excited to add Sam to the room. Being a legacy kid and his dad having that kind of tough mentality, it's going to be awesome for us.
For all these kids that are from Lincoln, and you're familiar with it too, I mean, just having the connection here and the ties here, how important is that? How much they kind of take a pride in wearing this uniform?
That's exactly right. You know, they take pride in, you know, they grew up watching it, you know, and probably dreaming about being here, and you know, they'll definitely come in and work as hard as possible, and just, you know, fall in line and listen to the older guys, and they'll learn every day and improve, and that's exciting, you know.
You see some of these guys, and maybe they've started at left tackle, maybe they're interior. How do you go about evaluating where they might fit in at the college level?
Yeah, we'll start them out in a certain spot, but you know, I told all of them, you know, just work on your both stances, right and left, and just get comfortable, and that's the most basic thing we do, is get in a stance. So, you know, I just tell them to work both sides right now, and when they get here, we'll put them in a spot and that they're most comfortable in, and we'll build the unit that way. So.
All right, you got a couple of guys that you're going to be battling Terrence Knighton for, the offensive line, defensive line. Mason Goldman out of Gretna, one of those guys, right?
Yes. Mason's awesome, great kid, great family. You know, he's again, plays the game the way it's supposed to be played. He plays hard, you know, physical. He's a tough football player, and you know, offensively and defensively, he finishes plays, and that's what we're looking for.
What does it do for a player that played both in high school when they want to transition to the next level? How does that help them?
You know, it's just, you know, when they get here, they understand kind of both sides of the ball, and whatever side they get put at, you know, they'll be ready. So.
All right, Jason Maciejczak, also a guy coming in at O-line, D-line, 6'4", 320 pounds, out of Pierre, South Dakota. Mm-hmm. What stood out about him on film?
You know, he moves well, and when he hits people, you can see like the toughness come out. You know, he moves people at the line of scrimmage. You know, they had him playing in the backfield, motioning as a fullback, as a lead blocker. I mean, he's quick. He moves well. He can redirect. You know, and he was here this summer for our O-line, D-line camp, and very coachable kid, and just great to be around.
It seems like a lot of offensive linemen that you talk to, they have some of the best understandings of the game. Is that something that you see in high school coming in, that these guys are very knowledgeable, or is it developed throughout college? Yeah,
I think it's a everyday process. You know, it's definitely a process to learn the game, the intricacies of the position. You know, basically it's just the communication piece and working together. And you know, some guys are at a higher level than others, but you know, they all come in and we just start them from ground zero and build them up.
You have a lot of guys coming back, but how much do you enjoy getting your hands on the young players coming in and developing them from the time they step on campus?
That's one of the best parts about the job, you know, just watching guys improve every day, and when they see something work and it works for them, they're like, oh, you know, it kind of the light flickers on, and you know, and that's the fun part about being a young football player and watching them each day improve. And you know, I'm a hands-on guy, and I love that part of it.
What's next for you now that signing day's done? What's the process look like moving forward?
Just, you know, just continue, you know, finding guys, looking for, you know, guys that can play, and continue building the offensive line room, and you know, and then, you know, coming back to our players that we have here currently, just working for them to improve and get stronger in the weight room and all those things.
Great. Donovan Raiola, appreciate your time.
Thank you.